Hey guys, welcome back to Stoneback Vlogs. Here we are again with Amos. We're actually on our way back from Peoria, but besides the point, decided to put together another video here for you guys. This is going to be kind of an Amos Q&A. I'm gonna ask Amos a bunch of questions about his disc golf career, I guess, and get to know Amos a little better, I guess. You ready for this?
Fire away.
Okay, Amos. First question, simple, easy one. What got you into disc golf?
Oh boy. My first exposure to disc golf was a gentleman I used to go to church with a long time ago. This would have been 16 years ago at least. He played and he threw a frisbee and stuff, and I wasn't interested at the time until I started driving, and then my brother and I picked up some discs from Walmart and we went out and fell in love with it immediately. And as I say, you can always tell a new disc golfer when you see one, because they'll throw the disc and they'll run to get it, and they'll throw it again and they'll run to get it again. So that's exactly how we started. One disc, started in Dubuque, Iowa, and took off from there. Eventually found a few more in the woods and didn't return them. I know, shame. That's how I started. Things have changed since then.
No, you do. With the amount of discs you got, you definitely keep everyone you come across.
You also give me a few. Here's my sponsor, Mr. Stoneback Vlogs. So that's how I started, and that was, I believe that was September of 07 when we started. So we've been playing for a while.
Okay.
Enjoyed it ever since.
Yeah. When did you come across or become a PDGA member?
That's a tougher one. I think that was more to do with my dad. He kind of, I think, started researching and found out that there was an actual organization, and I'm fortunate enough to have a fairly low PDGA number, purely just because it started a long time ago, and that was back in, like I said, 2014 or 14, I think. And back then there was a lot less people. There wasn't as much exposure. Now everything's online on YouTube, and internet is exploded with stuff on disc golf. So everybody knows about it now, and it's a fun thing to do, especially with COVID over the last couple of years. But it's a fun thing you can do with family and friends and such like that. So like my kids can play along, my wife walks along with us, and it's just family fun, and it's a blast. So
yeah,
that's kind of how.
So I think of if people were to look up your PDGA number online, they would see there's a pretty big gap between years in there. Is there a reason for that?
No real good explanation there. That was just my goal there for a little bit was to play a tournament or two a year, and I just kind of fell through with that and took a, there's probably, I forget what it is, I think it's like 4 or 5 years in between that I kind of just picked up another hobby during that time, and got back into it over the last several years, a little bit more seriously, thanks to Ryan and other people that have pushed me and got me out. Joined a couple of leagues, one local and one kind of a little bit further out. Got to know a lot of people through that, and just kind of blossomed into playing doubles tournaments, and from there singles tournaments kind of fall into place, sort of local, some of them a little bit further away, but Texas being my furthest one, so that was a pretty cool experience. But there was kind of a gap in there.
Yeah,
sure.
and actually you perfectly kind of started going into the direction of my next question, which I was going to start talking about your Texas trip, which you did last year, which was going down there for the NADGT. What was it? It wasn't Worlds. It was like just their big
National Amateur Tournament.
It was just their big amateur tournament down in Texas. They had how many people signed up for that?
I forget what the number was now, but it was the biggest amateur event in history that I know of. Is kind of
at that point.
At least at that point, yeah.
I don't know if it's been beaten yet or not.
I don't know. There was a lot of people, in all amateur level, no professional. How it worked for us at least is the advanced players, which is still considered amateur. they played up to the professional level. So if you placed for cash, if you took cash, you had to move up to professional. So I think there's a lot of people that did do that, and that's kind of their way to bump people out of those advanced positions into a professional career, hopefully. And if not, at least kind of got a fresh crop of people playing at the professional level and out of the advanced level, giving some room to new players coming up from intermediate.
Yeah, and you were actually facing what was it? Mike Growth.
Yep.
He played in it and he won it.
He did. I did not get to play on his card. He did end up winning it.
But I think some people have seen him mentioned, at least if you follow along with the tour. He's been in a few of them and
definitely
has played well.
I forget what the actual the winnings was, but there was first place for the NADGT tournament in Austin, Texas of last year. It was combined 2 years worth of people. Because of COVID, they had to cancel a year. But once it did do that, so he actually, it was actually a really cool win because I forget the number of places he secured himself for the Pro Tour of this year. It was, I want to say it was 5 or 6 Pro Tour like paid for positions, I believe, or automatic positions that if he wanted it. So it was a very cool win on top of the $10,000. Which is just a huge purse in any professional level. So that was a great kickoff for his career, and I definitely hope to see him on coverage. I have not yet, but I know he did have some coverage. I just haven't seen it. But hey, great for him. I hope he does well.
Yeah. And do you want to talk about how you did down there?
The first round went very well. It was in the woods. Texas is known for its, well, at least there's a lot of wind down there, which I'm not terribly used to. Not a good excuse, but it was, I throw a lot of understable discs, I feel like, that more of woods golf. So I played well in the woods. Kind of got an earlier tee time before the wind really picked up. So how it worked, I think there was about 300 advanced players that played at the professional level. There was 3 courses that we split up 100 people about in each course, and there was 200 people that had to play on windier courses. So that actually benefited those who, I don't even know how they did it. I gotta believe it was somewhat random, but it was, I kind of lucked out in that sense of getting to play in the woods on one of the windier days, and placed pretty well, so that I was kind of higher up in that top 100 people, or top 300, I guess. Overall, and which kind of moved to the next day. So a lot of people were shooting well over par because of the wind. And I was fortunate enough, I think, to be 3 or 4 under par for the first round going into the next day. So that was a huge benefit. And then the next couple of days wasn't as windy. I think it turned out to be 4 days. You play 3 courses, and then the 4th day they take the top 20%. So
and you got to play the 4th day.
I did get to play the 4th day. At one point, I want to say there was about, this is the worst part of the deal, there was about three holes left, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. But I tried not to check on the scores, and then there was a guy that told me, and I kind of asked him, kind of hinted at, like, well, where am I at? I said I'm probably playing in a pretty bad position. He said, actually, no. He's like, you're kind of in the top 10. And so that shocked me. So I started playing a little bit less aggressively, and I think that I tried to lay one up, chunked at the dirt, and then I missed the putt. So that threw me back. And so I think I bogeyed that one, I bogeyed the next one, and then I want to say I even bogeyed the last one. So it was like a bad finish. And I've been known to do that in some tournaments. So and that's just something I've got to work through and mentally in my mind to play better towards the end. But it was a very awesome experience. Anybody who gets the chance, definitely go down to Texas. There's some really cool tournaments down there, really cool courses, and the people are awesome, and the food is even better than the courses. I'll say that. So if that's saying anything for the Texas food, which everybody knows Texas is big for everything. So, but no, awesome experience. Like to tell everybody that I'm thankful my family was able to allow me to go with kids and my wife, so they've been very grateful to allow me to make this a thing thing. So
Yeah, awesome. And now you've been, obviously, you were playing a little bit more of the professional level before you went down. Now, obviously, you're like a certified professional, I guess.
now I have to.
You have to play professional. You can't play MA1 anymore or any amateur tournaments.
Yep.
So with that being said, what are, going forward now, what are kind of your goals and what are you looking to get out of disc golf?
Disc golf is just fun across the board. I mean, there's obviously certain holes that have ruined rounds and all that kind of stuff. You could get into that, but for the most part, I mean, disc golf is fun, and I want to keep it that way. Definitely want to start building a little bit more into my kids and kind of bringing them up in the sport. They both enjoy it a lot. I've told Ryan here that I've gone out. I usually bring I'll go to a pitch and putt course, and we'll bring about 70 discs in a stroller with my kids, and the couple of the kids, they'll actually throw almost as many as I do. So they're trying to rip as far as they can, and they're getting about 35 to 50 feet with rollers and anything they can get. So it's kind of fun seeing that. I want to keep encouraging that. And I would love to get to 1,000 rated at some point in my career. Not to tour or anything, more than likely, just because it's not really in the cards with a family, and that's not a problem. I'm thankful to be able to do what I do. And also, the last thing would be is I would love to be part of a group along with Ryan, hopefully, to design a course. Like that would be pinnacle of disc golf career. That'd be really cool to be able to be part of.
Keep left onto US 20 West toward Rockford.
Yeah, as I said, we're on our way home. So that is Amos, the disc golfer.
That's me in a nutshell.
So in a nutshell, is there any last things you want to mention at all about yourself?
Little shout out to, I kind of got to cover the seatbelt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shout out to OBDG and Pecatonica for the sponsorship. Amazing apparel. They got really comfortable gear. I've got mostly just the t-shirts right now. I hope to, as we get into the colder months, I hope to pick up some of the sweatshirts and the other clothes that they got. They got a whole selection of discs, so check them out online, lbdg.com. Also, a little shout out to Mojo Bricks Fire. My friend Fred is kind enough to sponsor some shirts and some hats. So a little shout out to him. He sells grilling bricks. I guess you put up smoking bricks. Just put them in the grill and smokes up whatever food you want. So check him out, mojobricksfire.com. And he's a great guy. They're both great guys. Scott with OBDG. Check them out. Yeah, it's awesome. Good group to be part of. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.